Hi everyone, welcome to the Before 18 show, a show where we host adults who do impactful things to the lives of children and also children who do impactful things and spectacular things in the society. And today I have a really nice and spectacular guest I'd like you guys to meet. Welcome so much, Tony.
Wow, that's Daisy, that's good. That was one take, that's wild. How are you doing, Daisy?
I'm good, how are you, Tony?
I'm good, Daisy, good to meet you.
I would like you to introduce yourself to the kids, first of all,
Right.
being a kids show, the Before 18 show. I would like you to introduce yourself to the kids and tell them about yourself a bit.
Okay, cool. So my name is Tonee Ndungu. I am 44 years old. I'm a father of two daughters. One is 13 and one is 11. I build businesses. I have, in my life, and I've counted, I've helped about 103 businesses get built. And I've personally built 3 businesses myself. The first one was called the Nylab. It was one of the hubs that started the Silicon Savannah in Kenya. The second one was Kytabu, which is a edtech company for kids, it's education technology. The third one is Tribe, which is a fintech company that I'm working on currently with my friend Sebastian and my friend Faz and Jade and Cliff. And the fourth thing I do for fun is I also do a podcast called My African Startup Story. And you're on the table for African Startup Story. So it's nice to have you, Daisy.
Thank you so much. I'm on the table, you've heard that part. I'm on the table, the specific table, the Africa Startup Story.
True.
So, Tony, I would like to come to this point where I want you to get a bit personal into your life. I want to get a bit personal into your life.
Let's go, let's go.
I came across somewhere you are in the rehab.
Yes.
In the rehab centers.
Yes.
In the back, they were called the juvenile centers.
Yes.
So can you tell us a bit about that?
Well, when I was much younger, I had ADHD. I still have it. ADHD is attention deficit hyperactive disorder. So I used to move a lot, I used to play a lot, I used to not listen to my parents a lot. I was a trouble child or indisciplined child. Really, I was just looking for adventure. And my parents thought that that is equals to indiscipline, because that's what they knew. And they took me to a correctional facility or an approved school. And the job of the approved school is to discipline or beat, in our day, children who were misbehaving, kids all the time, right? Kids with that kind of mindset. That was a mistake. That didn't work out for me very well. It was one of those decisions my parents have lived to regret, and I've had to carry this trauma for, because one of the things that kids need when they're growing up, and I was 9 years old at that time, is the safety and security of a parent or parents. And guidance from people who understand that all I'm trying to do is learn through play, learn through creativity. And in that school, they took all of that away from me. So there was a lot of experiences that I will not say right now, but then there were experiences that took away from the joy that was Tony, that 36 years later are still affecting the choices I make right now. And so to your kid friends, I want to tell them that it's okay to be creative, it's okay to be destructive, it's okay to get stuck in the mud, it's okay to try things that fail, and it's okay to be the black sheep every now and then, because at every point in time, the black sheep always comes up with a solution to a problem nobody else thought about. And that's something that I'm learning. Even now, I need to be able to allow my kids and the kids around me to be able to do.
So during the time that you are in the rehab centers and right now, has it impacted your success right now?
It somewhat has. One of the things you learn when you go to a place like that is you can only rely on yourself to change the things you want to change. So it has made me very self-reliant when it comes to a lot of things. If I choose I'm going to build something, I'm going to build something. If I choose I'm going to be determined to win, I'm determined to win. And I'll always keep doing that, Daisy. I will just go all the way to the end. But there are also some challenges that come with that, right? There's mental health challenges that we should talk about as kids, right? There's always things that you could always get help in, and sometimes it's hard for me to get help with those issues. And so the more I get help, the more the issues win less. But the less I get help, the more the issues win more. And so one of the advantages of being successful once or twice is knowing, even with this thing that's really hard, if I get the right people around me and I'm consistent and I keep trying, I will win. And that's something that you need to learn. You just need to learn that irrespective of how hard things look like right now, that you can win if you just keep working at it. Yeah.
So you came out being a high disciplined level, intelligent person?
I don't know about high discipline, but I'm definitely intelligent. I struggle with the discipline part, but definitely intelligent, that's for sure. Yeah, and emotionally intelligent as well. So you learn that there's different kinds of intelligence. You can be streetwise, you can be book smart, but being emotionally intelligent or learning how to interact and be with people and learn from people is super important. So that for me is probably the thing I'm proudest of the most. I'm emotionally intelligent. I may not be disciplined about it, but I'm emotionally intelligent. That's for sure.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's intelligent, he has said it.
Thank you, Daisy.
Okay, so I came across some initiatives you've done around kids. Can you tell us about that?
Kytabu is my biggest initiative around kids, specifically because apart from having ADHD, I'm dyslexic. So I wanted a platform that I know my kids who are also dyslexic would be able to use to learn. And digital content was always a good way for kids to learn because it's interactive, it's colorful, looks good, and it's just something you want to take yourself to, unlike a typical textbook that's not necessarily very inviting. I've done that for a decade and a few years and been able to support 400,000+ children with digital content. But now is the time for AI to do it, and now we're trying to figure out what Kytabu is going to look like when AI gets into every classroom. Artificial intelligence is going to change the way your generation learns and also your generation works, because in my generation we drive our own cars. Your generation, that might not happen. It might be a very different scenario. So we need to figure out what cab drivers are going to do at that time, amongst many other jobs. Yeah. Anything else?
So Kytabu app is your best initiative that you have?
I'm proud of it the most. I don't know if it's the best, but I'm proud of it the most.
I believe it's the best. According to how you're bringing it out, I believe it's the best.
Thank you very much, Daisy.
And it's going to be a success.
I think it is already.
It is already?
Yeah, I think so. And I'm looking forward to seeing what it does later, but I'm very proud of what we've done, how many people we've helped, and it's a decade I don't regret. It's hard, it was very difficult. Many, many days I wanted to quit. Many days I should have quit. But you know, looking back, I was like, it was not necessarily the 10 best years of my life, but I think it set me up for another 10 years in my life that are going to be so much better. And I'm looking forward to them.
Yeah, somebody told me there's one room that never fills up, and that's the room of improvement.
I like that. Yes, the one room that never gets full, room for improvement.
The only room
that's
that
true.
Never gets full.
That's true, yeah.
I guess everything that you've talked about is really nice.
Yeah.
Everything that you're doing. There is something that you've done around Girls for Girls.
Yes, yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Well, Girls for Girls failed. I want to start by saying that. And the reason why Girls for Girls failed is exactly because I am not a girl. And I'm encouraging every girl out there who wants to do something for other girls to get up and do it. Because I didn't understand girls. And when we built products for girls, we didn't know, and we didn't have a good enough team of some boys and some girls that could speak to girls. And we just never worked. We just never understood what girls need in the way they need it.
You have girls yourself?
I do have daughters, but it's a very different thing between having daughters and being a daughter. and so I encourage you, Daisy, and all your friends who are girls, that the one thing that technology is lacking is women. Young women, middle-aged women, older women. And so Daisy, please, as you get older, consider technology, consider AI, consider tech, and tell all your friends to consider tech as a space for girls. Because I think the one thing the world is missing is more girls in spaces in science.
Yeah, there's a gap in between them.
A very big one.
Yeah.
And the thing about girls is it's not just a gender issue, it's the way you think, but it's very different from the way boys think.
Yeah.
And having more girls do stuff in that space will save us all so much, because I feel like, you know, it's kind of like running with one leg. It's very difficult. And we definitely need the other leg to be able to move fast.
Yeah, girls are, in fact, girls are smarter than boys.
This
so
is true.
Say this?
I don't need, no, don't apologize. It's true, girls are smarter than boys. That's true.
But we've not been given that exposure to these things. Mostly to do with tech, it was believed to be a boys kind of thing.
That's true.
From the olden days, it was believed to be a boys kind of thing. So before people embrace it to girls, it will take time.
I think it started, and I actually, not only do I think it started, I think it's actually really full-blown now. I think it's important, now that we are all aware that girls are so powerful and they're so wonderful and they're so important, it's people like myself, when we start a company, we're intentional about hiring girls to do things for us and with us, because we recognize the power that they hold. And not just me, like I am an entrepreneur, but as many entrepreneurs as I know, it's always smart to have a girl on your core team, and it's even smarter to have more girls in your company than boys.
Yes.
And that's not to say because boys aren't smart. Boys are smart. Boys are really, really clever, and it's nice to have opportunities for boys as well. So we're not saying it's one over the other. It's just saying that there's a lot more girls in the world to serve than boys. So why not, if you're going to build a product, a financial product, for example, which is what I'm building now in Tribe, my new company, more women handle money than men.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to have more women on the team than men on the team, right? Because that's the target audience. But financial literacy, right? Women are better at financial literacy than men are. So it makes sense because more women run homes than men do, right? So it makes sense for having more women in the financial company than men do. But yes, I think take the opportunity. If there's no room for you on the table, build your own. You know what I mean? They say that all the time to women. Yeah. But now I feel like there's no man that you can look at Daisy at 18 and be like, I can't be X or Y, or I can't build X or Y, because there's so many women who've trailblazed before you to prove that there's no woman you cannot be, whether it's a Michelle Obama type woman who's in America, or a Wangari Maathai here in Kenya. Like there's no shortness of women who you can be able to copy from.
But in Africa, we've not embraced our women as much as the Western culture.
That's true.
People.
That's true.
We've created a bigger gap in between the women in Africa. The gap is a bit bigger than in the Western culture bit.
Right. That's true.
Which we need to squeeze in. We compress it until we are all on the same lane.
Yes.
Both men and women, both boys and girls.
I agree with that. Yeah. As a father of daughters, I agree with that. I really do. I see it, and I want it to change for my daughters.
It will change. I think you should revive Girls for Girls.
I will find women to help me.
Yeah, there are women outside there who are ready to bring back Girls for Girls. What was it about?
The idea was generally to get girls to get mentors from other girls. And what we didn't understand was the kind of mentors girls were looking for, but not the kind of mentors we selected. So a lot of the girls we got on board to be mentored didn't like our mentors. And then slowly it started fading out. And before we could get it again, we had already lost the majority of the girls who were being mentored by our mentees. And we realized it's men who picked the girls' mentors. It should be girls who pick their own mentors. So that, Daisy, if you want to learn from Jennifer or Grace or whoever, you can be able to pick that person. Tonee doesn't pick for you because Tonee thinks on your behalf. And that's kind of where it sounds silly now when you look back, but we were like, who are the most amazing women we could find, and could we convince them to mentor these young women? But the girls didn't find these women amazing. They just didn't look up to them. They looked up to other people, So we needed to do a better job of getting the right people to come and find out what's there. Daisy, in closing, anything that you want to add?
Is love a fun lady environment?
Right.
Just a hint.
Thanks.
Ladies love
a fun lady environment.
Yeah,
right.
Fun lady environment. That's why you found the parenting things Kytabu, where you find just ladies are together. Not men are bringing them advice.
Yes.
Women are bringing advice to themselves.
Correct.
Because it brought out the fun where you just sit and talk about girl issues and you're like, yeah, I face the same thing.
Right.
You see such things?
I do.
Yeah, so just a hint out for that.
Thank you. I'll watch out for that.
Thank you so much, Tonee. We had Tonee in the show. I was your host, Daisy Njoroge, and our guest,
Tonee Ndungu.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. See you in the next episode of Before 18 Show.
Bye. Wow, that was so good. She's a natural.